Hey, this is the Actor's Take, and I'm going to be doing a breakdown with Scarface with Al Pacino. Let's get to it.
What are you, you fool? What's wrong with you?
I lost my appetite.
Real quick, before we get into this, on Al Pacino's, man, people don't talk about Michelle Pfeiffer enough in this film, man, like at all. Her her portrayal of like just the pathetic junkie, this person who just doesn't care, and like just her demeanor in all of this, and just her sad case of a drug addict is just amazing. It's such an amazing performance, man, and she doesn't get talked about enough at all. And I get it because Al Pacino kind of leads this whole thing. He's usually the one people talk about. I mean, because he's the one with the lines. He's the one with the portable lines and the outrageousness going on. But like, there are scenes with Michelle that are just flawless. Just her, and just like, look at her eyes right now. Like, she's giving off the sense that, I mean, she's high off cocaine right now, like high to the T right now at this point. But kind of keeping it together and showing that really that restraint. It's just something about her performance that just kind of rings true in a lot of ways, and people don't talk about it enough, man.
You got a liver, you got spots on it, and you're eating this fucking shit. You're looking like these rich fucking mummies in there.
Mm. Whew, can I just say, Al Pacino's accent as Cuban is fucking amazing, man.
I got a fucking junkie for a wife. Don't eat
Woo!
nothing, sleeps all day with them black shades on, wakes up with.
Okay, so you guys see her right now, kind of like rising in temperature. You know what I mean? She's like, and she's not really doing anything other than just breathing heavy. You know what I mean? She's rising in temperature. This lady is about to explode every second because out of his mouth is insult after insult after insult, and you can just see, this is a good frame right here. This is good framing to show that she's about to explode. It's actually a good tact. You really get that feeling that she's about to flip over this table. And look at her hand too. Like, her hand is very just it's gripping on that glass so much. Like, it's either you're gonna throw the drink in his face or you're gonna crush the glass. Okay.
I can't even have a kid with her, man. Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
Ooh! Ooh! I don't know about y'all, but that shit. So when, like, maybe this is just me, but when a woman speaks in like a whisper, but with intent behind it, like, you sick fuck, you son of a bitch, and they're like enunciating all of the consonants in their words, and it's not about to end well for you, like, at all. And Michelle is doing all of that by just and she's all doing it by just staying in one spot. She's not doing the most right now. She's just sitting there with her cigarette, holding the glass in her hand, and just looking at him in his eyes and letting him just say all these things. And the first thing that comes out of her mouth is very low. It's in a whisper, but the consonants in her, the enunciation of those consonants is what gives off that 9,000 level energy, keeping it very constrained. And that's very impressive. God, they don't talk about Michelle at all in this movie. Michelle Pfeiffer was raw. Like, look, Al Pacino is great, but Michelle Pfeiffer was amazing in this.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Yep, loving hip hop.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You don't have the guts to be what you want to be.
Woo! Whew, it's just a good line, man. Just a good line.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Okay, so playing drunk it can be tricky. I've seen people who play drunk and they go overboard, and I've seen people who play drunk and don't do enough. But I've seen people who play drunk and do just enough Now, when it comes to this scene, uh, there's space to use. There's people and space to use. So Al Pacino kind of has a lot at his disposal right now to pretty much do. And De Palma pretty much just said, look, just do you. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of this is improv as well. But just look at like the way he's moving. He's very everything is very subtle. You know, he's not making big movements. You know, he's keeping in to account that his character is drunk. So he's doing some stumbling here and there, but he's not like outright yelling at everybody and going, "You put your fucking motherfucking fingers and say I'm the best." No, he kind of keeps it at a level where it's like you can pay attention. You know, he's like making an address to like a PSA to everybody around him, but it's not so outrageous where you're not going to take him seriously. You know, it just shows the demise and the shift in Tony's character. You know, in his story that he's officially, you know, gone down the dark path and doesn't care to turn the other way at all.
You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem.
You see how he's making like slow movements? Like not everything is outrageous, not everything is reckless. He's not going berserk right now. He's just kind of like, you know, keeping it where it needs to be for you to pay attention to him. But the thing of it is, though, is that he's looking at each individual. You know, he's not just addressing the people. He's actually looking at every one of their faces and saying, look, you know, and everybody else. And that's what is keeping everybody engaged with him. And also as an audience member, it keeps you engaged as well. And he does a good job at just, you know, showing that pettiness in his character and just, you know, the the sloppiness, you know, that he has going on right now.
Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
He's
So
wandering.
say good night to the bad guy. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
Mm.
Hold on.
Woo! Such a good scene, man. Look, classic case of how to do drunk the right way. Um, Little movements. Stumble if you want, but don't fall over tables and shit. Like it doesn't need to take all that. But I like his choice of, you know, looking in people's faces, looking into their eyes, and saying his lines. You know, in using people to, you know, as props, as you will, to, you know, get the point across. It's a really good scene, man, and this scene in particular doesn't get talked about enough either. You know, it's all about usually the you know, say hello to my little friend and other things here and there, but this scene in particular doesn't get talked about enough, and I think it's because it's not a fun scene to watch. It really isn't. You know, it's an embarrassing scene to watch. You know, it's cringe. You know, but in all the good ways, because now it's all about the storytelling. His character is not having the future isn't too bright for this character, but it's such a good scene. So that was my take on Scarface. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you love this video, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Okay.